Good afternoon, class, and I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday. In today's lesson, we're going to go over why Yamamoto might just be the best bruiser in Bleach Rebirthofsouls. So y'all make sure y'all sit down and pay attention. So the reason why I say that is purely because Yamamoto is a high damage character, but with a gimmick. And we're going to get into his gimmick soon. But before we get into his gimmick, we first got to understand what is the definition of a bruiser in fighting games. Now, what these type of characters will consist of is having exactly what it sounds like. They will have strong abilities, strong toolkits, just raw power, high combo damage at that as well. But there will be a trade-off. Now, this trade-off could range from being slow, having slow mobility. They could have a meter thing. They won't gain meter as fast as other characters. Like, it will be a trade-off when it comes to these type of characters. And in Yamamoto's case, he's no exception. So, we're going to get into them very soon. So, with that being said, class, that is what a bruiser archetype is in a fighting game. Now, I hope you all was paying attention because we are about to move on. Now, for the first one, we have Infernal Gauge / Hellfire State. Now, what this does, the Infernal Gauge will accumulate by activating flash attacks and signature moves, etc. Infernal Gauge will decrease when quick attack lands at the opponent. The more Infernal Gauge accumulates, the more power will increase, and when the gauge reaches its maximum, it changes into Hellfire State. During the Hellfire State, the power will be enhanced, but the ratio will decrease automatically. So, class, this is what I mean by one of them trade-offs. So, when y'all have this gauge, because it's automatic, so y'all gotta make sure y'all pay attention to it. Make sure y'all keep it in balanced. Only really try to accumulate more to gauge if the match is about to end or you're in the lead when you have health lead, because when Hellfire State, his whole entire kit is damaged. So make sure I keep that in mind. Moving on to the next. Now you have a spiritual pressure move 1, Shiranui. Attack by releasing a flame forward. Yamamoto will be in Hellfire State when activated. The damage will increase after activating with the long press down input. So basically, y'all, this move is going to activate a Hellfire State. So it's going to add on to that gauge so you can get into Hellfire State. So make sure I go ahead and use that because it looks like it got some pushback to it as well. Moving on to the next one. Now we have a spiritual pressure move 2, which is called Tamatsu Inadagiri. Now the technique will change depending on whether Yamamoto is in Hellfire State or not. Tatsumatsu, normal state, activation. When the power attack, the infernal gauge will not accumulate for a certain period of time after activation. Nagiri, Hellfire State, release a very powerful slash recovered with a mass of flames. The Hellfire State will be removed after activating. So, class, this is one of the moves that's going to help accumulate your gauge, or you can choose not to, because it's 2 options. Nagiri is going to help it. Now, Tatsumatsu is not, since it's just a regular one. But Nagiri is the powerful version of this anyway, since it's going to be in Hellfire State. So it's up to you all to decide if y'all want to go ahead and use Nagiri to accumulate your gauge so you can get into Hellfire State quicker. It's up to you, class. Now, we're moving on to the most important thing yet. And y'all know what that is. Which we have is Awakening. Now, what this awakening does, Yamamoto's performance will be enhanced by increasing the power output of Shikai Ryujinjaka. By increasing the Reishi and the increase of damage, Shikai Ryujinjaka makes Yamamoto possible to recover his low agility and unleash his overwhelming power. So basically, class, in the short summary of what this is telling us is that he's just going to be a powerhouse in Awakening. Now, his moves are going to have a lot of priority, which he's going to be slow. Right, he don't have a lot of agility, but his move is going to have a lot of priority and they're going to cause a lot of damage. So get your opponent in a combo, melt their health bar away, take that dub. Simple as that. Now, class, with that being said, we are reaching almost the end of this lesson, so we are about to move into his stats. So y'all make sure y'all pay attention. So, class, these are his stats, and there's no surprise that his power and toughness and durability is off the charts. Now, as far as his reach and range and his technique and skills, they're a little bit there, but it's really not much. Now, his speed is not existing, y'all. Do not rely on his speed at all whatsoever. It is not existent. But overall, his stats look very well done. and his ease of use is 2 stars. So I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna have that little skill gap to him, mainly because it's Hellfire gimmick. So keep that in mind, y'all. So class, with that being said, this makes the end of this lesson, and I hope you all took something away from this lesson. Remember, Yamamoto is a bruiser archetype. He only relies on power and durability. So make sure you oppress your opponent by just keep being in their face. And it's not even rush down play. Just get into their face and cause havoc. Now, with that being said, y'all, I hope you all like, subscribe, share this video. And we're on a road to 100 subscribers by the end of this year. And I know we can get there, class. So I want y'all to keep watching these videos and keep giving me y'all feedback. So with that being said, before y'all leave my room, do not slam my doors. I'll see y'all next video. ごきげんよう。